Shall I post it as soon as he passes down there?
18, go for
Let's talk about that message, those writings that the suspect did and sent to his family members. There's some confusion about when they were sent to the family, how that all played out. What have you learned?
Yeah, so this is what administration officials and investigators are referring to as the suspect's manifesto. It outlines why he was in Washington, why he was doing this, and what he was setting out to do. In particular, I'll read one line from it. He talks about administration officials saying they are targets prioritized from highest ranking to lowest, and then says he does not want to confront law enforcement. Obviously, he did end up confronting law enforcement. In the timeline, what we've learned from White House officials and administration officials who are part of this investigation and being briefed on the investigation is that the suspect sent this to his family 10 minutes before the incident took place. Now, what I'm told by one of these administration officials is that the family members, or at least the ones that have been interviewed, did not read this until after the incident had already taken place. And that is when they went to local law enforcement. And that is an important point to distinct here because of the idea of whether or not local law enforcement knew anything before the president actually entered into that room. And it doesn't appear that they were given any kind of tip or heads up from the family who didn't see this so-called manifesto.
And I'm curious what you think this attack and what we've seen in the last couple of years says about where we are right now and where we've been.
Well, I think John made, well, Juliet too, but John made some points about the cycle of violence that we have seen in the last couple of years. Those are very important points because we're seeing a real spike in political violence. And it's none that it does involve the left and the right. It also involves a lot of incoherent politics, but there's a central theme that runs through, whether it's the Mangione assassination, or the attempt or the killing of Melissa Hortman and her husband, and it's this sense that these killers, they're twisted, of course, but these killers feel that the only way to change politics is with a bullet, and a bullet in a democracy is never an appropriate way to achieve social or political change. In an authoritarian regime, in Nazi Germany, that's a different question, and that raises different moral questions and issues. But in a democracy where you still have elections, where you have strong institutions, there is never, ever a justification for seeking to change through a bullet. And yet we have seen now a series of young men, and one not so young, but all charged or full of the sense that the only way to change America in whatever direction they want to change it is through murder. That is on a scale that is now unprecedented for us.
Yeah. I believe that when the FBI does the investigation on his electronic devices and his social media accounts, you're going to find a longer history of him airing his grievances, seeking other people that felt the same way he did, possibly making some threats. There's going to be additional information critical to investigators in his background. And that would have been obviously important information to have now.
Well, and it's clear there was a lot of premeditation here as well. This idea of getting the guns, going on the train across the country so that you don't have to go through a metal detector at an airport, going to Washington, booking a room in the hotel to try to avoid security. I mean, this was a well thought out plan for him. Obviously not well thought out enough, but this was something had been in his mind clearly for some time.
Extensive planning, and again, it'll be interesting to see what they find on his computer. Certainly, there are plenty of videos about the hotel. You could on the hotel site. There's videos about the hotel, but all the people that have attended this event in the past posted things, and he would have likely looked at those, learned about entrances where people were moving, where doors were. He did his intelligence gathering, and you're right. He had days to think about this, and I bet when they go back in time, they're going to find he made these ticket reservations a long period in advance. Thought about this, and there may have been people he spoke to about this. So the investigation will be interesting. It's going to take a little while for some of these subpoena returns or preservation letters to bring that information to law enforcement, but there's still a lot of details about his background that are critical to find for two reasons. Number one, he's alive, so he may end up in court. So the U.S. attorney needs to make sure everything is perfect if it does eventually go to trial. And number two, they want this information so the FBI profilers, the behavioral analysis unit, they can help provide this information to law enforcement to hopefully disrupt one of these from happening in the future.
Hold.
We're hold. I'm good. You know what happened? It sounds like everybody's good.
We need the elevator. We need to go up. Elevator. We need the elevator.
播报新闻是我的日常，必须时刻保持妆容和皮肤的最佳状态。当来到人生中最重要的时刻，也是 KS 逆时奇迹帮助我轻松驾驭，闪闪发光。KS 逆时奇迹活肤露全效精华、精华霜，多达5种 EGF 6大冻龄关键成分，保湿效果让我非常满意，小细纹也不再困扰我。我就是我自己的最佳女主角。KS 让我从容自信，光彩动人。我是我人生中的大女主，我的最爱我做主。KS 逆时奇迹系列热卖中，下单请上快点购，透过中天新闻网 App 下单立减50，或输入 CTI 推荐码有额外折扣。